Vanessa.
I'm Ray.
And we are
Orderly.
Okay. Today we're going to talk about how to actually declutter.
Wow, it sounds really easy.
Yeah.
It's not that straightforward.
Well, there are some there are actually different techniques involved,
Mm.
but I think today let's only focus on two. So I will talk about how we do it as Orderly first.
Yes.
So for Orderly, what we do is the first thing is to pick out a space that you want to focus on. And then in that space, we pull everything out, lay them out on the ground, and sort them into 4 categories. Okay, so the first category is the keep pile. So things that you definitely want to keep. I think those we can be pretty sure.
Usually most people are quite clear.
Yes. Then the next thing is to donate. That means they're in good condition. You're okay to let them go. And they can go to either someone you know or any organizations that you want to donate to. Then number 3 will be things that don't belong in that room or like that space, and they can go somewhere else. Those are also pretty clear cut.
So things that you want to keep, but just that, for example, if it's like a snack, but it's in the toilet, then you don't want to keep it in the toilet, right? So you bring it back to the kitchen. Sorry, just very 夸张 example.
Yeah, I hope nobody has snacks in the toilet. Okay.
And the last one.
And the last one will be the hardest, which is the things to get rid of. So either throw or recycle pile. So things that are leaving your house, not to anywhere else, okay, but like to the hidden recesses of the world. I don't know.
Yeah, and so I think what a lot of our clients struggle with are like the not so obvious, right? Like for
Yeah.
example, things that are super obvious to throw would be things that are expired.
Yes. Or like things that are like in disrepair, right? There's no point repairing them anymore. Yeah. Expired things like food, skincare.
Toiletries. Although some people don't mind using some expired stuff, what do you think about that?
I think we should highly recommend not to. Safety is one. So food safety. For skincare, it will be like sensitivity.
For medications, it's like efficacy of the medication, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I think some people keep charcoal pills though. Are you okay with charcoal pills?
Expired charcoal pills? Why?
Because they feel like it's charcoal anyway. But the same thing, right? Efficacy also
It's
comes
a
into
medication,
play, right?
so I wouldn't be okay. I
I think things going into your body are very scary once they're expired.
even on your skin.
Yes.
Yeah, because my skin is quite sensitive, so I will be more mindful about that.
Yeah.
Maybe if it's like dehumidifier expired 1 month, okay lah, can lah. If expired 3 years, maybe no lah. Yeah. So we're not so strict per se, but we do want to encourage. I mean, the dates are there for a reason, right?
Yeah. But it's also not like, if it says expiring on 5th May, 4th May, I'm fine. 5th May, I'm bad, right? Things don't just go bad suddenly, right?
Yeah.
So like give it a few days grace or maybe a week's grace. I think it's fine. But sometimes it's very obvious that it's gone bad, like moldy, yellowed, or like if the packaging has been like tampered with, then definitely let's say bye bye to those.
One category that I declutter a lot of for my clients are plastic bags.
Yeah.
And while they don't have an expiry date tied to them, right? It's very clear when it's gone. Like the plastic would literally disintegrate.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've seen those.
Yeah, and you can start to see even the eco bags, right? Like,
It's a mess to clean up, honestly.
oh my goodness.
They leave like specks everywhere on the floor.
Exactly. So, and I feel like we now can tell, we can just feel the plastic. Like, okay, I think it's going to break soon. So let's just throw. Yeah. So especially when you already have enough, there's really no need to keep that much.
Even clothes, right? Sometimes the elastic also wears out. Some people do change out the elastic.
Especially underwear, right? No, swimwear.
Swimwear as well. Yeah. But
Sports
I feel like underwear should have an expiry date.
Really?
I recently learned, actually Uniqlo heat tag has an expiry date.
Huh?
Yes. Honestly, yes.
Where?
I think to check on the box or something, but I saw a video online that said Uniqlo heat tag has an expiry date.
Wow.
But I don't know what it affects.
Okay.
Maybe again
efficacy, how warm it can keep you. But I think as we went on our professional organizing journey, one thing that I didn't know had expiry date were like sanitary pads.
Yes. Yeah. People used to think that they will last forever, right?
I know, right?
Yeah.
What else? Was there anything else that like actually will expire but you didn't think it would, but it actually does?
can't remember. I guess like face creams and all that. So sometimes they don't write a specific expiry date, but it's once you open it and then you have like a 12-month shelf life.
Yeah.
Like that little picture, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's really tricky. So actually what we usually recommend is to like indicate.
Yes, like
Yeah.
put on a label of when you opened it so you can keep track of when the shelf life has
Yeah.
come
So I
up.
like to always have like our painter's tape
Yeah.
handy nearby.
Yeah.
Be it with food or with my skincare, and then I can write the date that we open it. Yeah, so that will help. At least you know when you're trying to declutter, you know how old this item is. Yeah. So I think for dates, things with expiry dates or have obviously gone bad, I think it's really easy to let them go. What about the things that maybe are a little bit more expensive or may hold some sentimental meaning and our clients are finding it really hard to let go? What would you do?
Expensive stuff is really tough because especially if there's still value in it, right? So some of our clients choose to either sell it through carousel or give it to someone that they love as like just a gift, like not really a gift but like, hey, I'm not using it anymore, if you're happy with it, go ahead. I think that kind of extends the shelf life of that product and then you get full use of it even though you're not the one using it. Someone else could be very happy using it actually, or even like sometimes some people give it to their neighbors' kids, right? They're like, oh, actually, I think my neighbor's kid would love this so much, like even if it's a handbag or like clothes or things like that. Yeah, but for sentimental, I think most parents always say that artwork, like the kids' artwork, is the hardest to let go of, right?
Yeah. For us, I think it's not so hard, right?
Yeah, it's like, sometimes they give the nonsense scribble. And I'm like, oh, so cute when I receive it, then I just throw it away. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's really like a random scribble, right? And then, oh, mommy, I love you, but it's a random scribble. I can't make sense of this.
So along throughout the years, we discovered this art digitizing service, right, called Artist Peak, and they really help to convert your children's artwork into beautiful like art books or even merchandise like
Yeah,
mugs, even clothes also, like a
Yeah.
hoodie with the design
So
of their
cute.
drawing on it. So we thought that was a really good idea
Yeah.
to preserve the memories. And it makes a lot of sense because over the years, the art will also disintegrate and have yellow spots, right? I have a client, her daughter's already 25, and her artwork from her younger days are still there. So cute though when I saw it. But like I was like, okay, I really think you should digitize it. And I think she's ready to.
Yeah.
She just hasn't got the time to do
I
it.
think when your kid is 25, I think you're very ready to digitize their old artwork.
Yeah. Artwork I think is really hard, especially if you're a parent.
Yes.
Let's say for sentimental items, I also think that's quite tricky, but similarly like what we've spoken about in the previous episode, right?
Yes.
Like if it's just a little small volume, just one box, and your space, your home can accommodate that one box, I think that's fine. But if it's a
Give yourself some
lot,
time, maybe.
yeah, just buy yourself some time, set a reminder like 3 months or 6 months down the road, and then just revisit it again to see if you're that now ready to let it go. But
It's a
also,
lot, then how?
yeah, a lot, huh? If it's a lot, then you hire us to like
Actually,
give you a
some
nudge.
of our clients have also told us that they feel more pressure to get rid of stuff when we are there, or they feel more motivated, I would say, maybe not pressure, but they feel more willing to let go of things, or they suddenly realize actually this doesn't really hold much value to me now that you're here.
I know, right? Yes. I was gonna say it's pressure, but it's the good kind of pressure.
Yes,
Not
yeah.
peer pressure or like, oh, I'm scolding you kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's really like you're like us being there to just guide them. Sometimes holding space for, okay, you're not ready, it's okay.
Yeah.
Even that process allows them to feel heard, supported. And then as they let go of the other things and they revisit that original thing that when they were not so sure whether they wanted to let go of, now they are more clear about
Yeah.
whether or not they should keep it or let it go. Yeah, we've had many clients who told us that. So I think really don't stress yourself out. And if you feel like you really need some support in this journey, feel free to reach out to us. Yeah, we don't bite. Yeah, you just try 3 hours with us, lor. See if we vibe, and yeah, I'm sure we will.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also, I think one very useful thing that we learned as professional organizers that we love to ask our clients, right? It's a very funny question that can help you to decide if you should let go of a thing.
A bit gross lah, but very helpful. Honestly, we also saw it online, and it's if you somehow manage to get dog poop on this item, would you like hurry and wash it to keep it, or would you be like, you know what, can't deal with it anymore, let's just get rid of it? Yeah.
I love it, it's so clear now. If it's a Chanel bag that's like 10K and there's dog poo, I will immediately send it for repair, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if it's like
what?
maybe my kid's drawing or something, I'll just buy lah. It's
Yeah,
okay.
or if it's like a $20 bag, a piece of clothing, like you love, but then if it's dog poo, will you want to deal with it? Then it's $20, then the perspective suddenly becomes very clear. Yeah, I feel sometimes when you ask yourself that, it helps you to let things go a little bit better.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
But we still have clients who sometimes like, they still struggle with it. They're like, actually, everything with dog poo, I will still want to keep one because I want all these things, I need it. Then, if really in doubt, we have something called the effort bin. And the effort bin is literally a bin where you put things that you're like, effort, I'll deal with it another time. Like, but that also means that you actually have to deal with it when the another time comes.
Yeah, I think this effort bin method comes in really handy if, for example, you have a time crunch, like you're hosting guests, you are hosting your boss or something, and you really need to clear your house, but you don't have time. Then this effort bin is literally just sweeping everything into that one bin for now, and then setting aside some time later to deal with it.
Yeah, and also please don't keep adding more things into the effort bin until it overflows and you need a second effort bin. The recommendation is only one effort bin, and once effort bin is full, please deal with it and work on it.
I think we saw this concept from a mom who wanted her kids to tidy up after their toys every day, right? But then if the kids don't do it, she would then put all of these toys into the effort bin.
Yeah.
And she would set an expiry date or something, like if you don't clear it by, I don't know, the next day, then all these are gonna go.
But also, it is very useful because if you realize that you haven't used the things in the effort bin for months or even hopefully not years, then you actually don't really need it.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes I think most people don't remember that they have these things, right?
Exactly. Yeah, but that's also when people start buying duplicates of things, right? Because they can't find it because it doesn't have a home.
Very chicken and egg problem, but we all believe that it all starts with decluttering first, because when you have less that you are seeing physically, it's a lot less mental load and less mental stress too. So I think this brings us nicely into the second method that we can share with our viewers in terms of how you can declutter a space when you don't know how to start, right?
Yes.
And I think this method is really easy, and it's by Cassandra Arson, whom we learned the Clutterbug organizing course from. So she has this concept called the trash bag therapy, and she likes to call it therapy because it's really therapeutic. And I think this is particularly useful if you have a space or a room that's really just kind of like a mishmash dumping ground, and it's kind of like you're driving you a little bit nuts already. There's really no structure, no system at all. The first thing you can do is really just grab a trash bag, a big one, the big black kind, and just go into the room and look for things to throw. And this is only just throw. You don't even think about things you want to donate. These are things that are going to go. And when you're telling your brain that, you are being very focused. And then your brain will really look out for scraps. For example, receipts, food packaging, paper with scribbles, broken items. And this is how you get through decluttering that space, in baby steps.
Yeah, I think it's very easy for people who might be very overwhelmed at the aspect of decluttering an entire space, because it really is, again, like we said earlier, it's very overwhelming to be faced with everything that you own, right?
Yeah, and we do have some clients who share with us that when we do our method, which is we take everything out from the space and we lay it all on the ground, it drives them a bit crazy, right? Yeah, like I remember one client like 2 years ago, she couldn't even be in the same room as us. She had to hide in her room because it was just too much for her to handle. Of course, for us, we're trained. We have done this many times. So even as our team handles the things on the floor, our minds kind of know what's going where. But however, for people who may feel really overwhelmed, if the first method really doesn't resonate with you, you can try out the second method to just focus on removing all the trash from the room first. Yeah, and then once you're done with that, will be to move on to the second step. Will be to like kind of categorize the things as similarly as you can before you move on to organizing. Yeah.
Okay, lastly, I think many people want to know how to maintain a clutter-free lifestyle. So how do you continue to keep that space clean and clutter-free?
I think I'll like the guru in this. Come, share.
Number one is just be mindful of your purchasing. So before you buy something, think about three things. Number one, where are you going to keep it? Do you have space for it? Number two, are you going to have the mental bandwidth to deal with it, like maintain it, make sure that it's clean, it's like well kept? And then number three, are you going to put it away every time you take it out? Right? So if you can fulfill all three, then I think, okay, just buy it. Yeah. But if you don't want to even deal with the mental load of like adding one thing more to your inventory, then maybe you don't need it.
Yeah. And for someone like me for me, organizing or living a clutter-free life didn't come very naturally to me when I was younger, right? I think what hit was like when I realized after I became a mom, how much was going through in my mind and how much stress and energy was taking up from my life. I mean, how much all these clutter in my home were taking away all this energy and time from me. So it really was just that momentary mindset shift that clicked, right? And I realized, like, with more space, I felt so much better. And it was really, I think a lot of people do know and agree that kids don't need much.
Yeah.
They don't. Yeah, like if you just give them like 3 toys, they will just play with the 3 toys, right? And they'll be really creative even. So, and I think also what helped me to stay clutter free was just remembering how a cluttered space made me feel and how a clutter free space made me feel. Like in the past, yes, I wasn't that bothered by my clutter in the past. Everything was quite visual. I could see everything. But then once I realized how a clutter-free space made me feel, how peaceful it is on the inside, how happy I am to come home every day, then I really just wanted to maintain that. Yeah.
Okay. Another thing that I also live by is the one in, one out rule. So we have a fixed amount of hangers at home, and we don't buy clothes unless we get rid of clothes. So only if I get rid of one piece of clothing can I allow myself to buy another piece of clothing. Which means that if I want to buy a new piece of clothing, I have to get rid of something first. Yeah. So it's a commitment though, like to not buy any more hangers than we actually need.
I agree. I think even for me, I think I cannot do that yet. Yeah, to be honest. I think I've cleared quite a lot and I still have space for more hangers. But of course, I won't go and buy hangers. Lah. Yeah. But I think it's very encouraging, inspirational to see how resilient you are, how strong you want to like just maintain that space. Like it's a very clear rule that you set for your family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of discipline.
Discipline. Yeah, exactly. Well, discipline in our own ways, in
Yes.
different ways, in
Correct.
our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like one in, one out rule, right?
Yeah, but it's also because I'm like extremely stubborn. That's why it works. Okay, and I think the last thing is to make sure that if you have a bin, then that bin has to serve as a boundary for you. Yeah, so don't exceed the bin. Don't buy more than the bin can hold.
Of course, for this method, I think it would only work best if the system has already been set up.
Yes.
Yeah, like literally in the kitchen, for example, you already have just one drawer for snacks. Yeah, so that's the boundary. And what that means is if now your snack drawer is like half filled, you only go and buy snacks to fill up the other half and not like twice or 3 times more. Sometimes I feel that is easier on your part also because that tells you how much you need to buy. Whereas, at the shopping, at the grocery store, you may be like, oh, should I buy 2 packet, 3 packet, 5 packet, 10 packet? Oh no lah, the drawer can only fit 2 packets. I buy 2 packets. So yeah, so having that visual boundary and then actually sticking to it is really one way that's very easy to maintain a clutter-free life. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that should be all for this episode. If any of our sharing resonated with you, let us know. Comment in the comment section below. And
We actually have an AMA. So,
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
if you have any questions or if you want to clarify anything with us, feel free to drop us DMs on IG or leave a comment on YouTube or Spotify. And we will have a video. Yeah, we'll make a video about it and we will answer your questions in the video.
yes, we will. Okay, great. Thank you very much. We'll see you again. Bye.